Morning everyone. Children, let's continue with science lesson 4, the skeleton and muscular system. Today we will deal with the parts of the skeleton. Our skeleton consists of the skull, rib cage, backbone and limbs. So let's start with the skull. It is made up of 22 bones, 8 flat bones which are interlocked together. They give shape to the head, and 14 bones which form the frame of the face. The lower jaw is fixed to the upper jaw. We can only move the lower jaw of the skull. The skull protects the delicate brain. The skull has holes for the eyes and nose. The nose does not have a bone. It is made up of a tough white tissue called cartilage. As you can see in the picture that there are holes for the eyes and nose, and this lower jaw is only movable in the whole skull. Next comes the rib cage. The rib cage is made up of 12 pairs of thin curved bones. They are attached to the backbone and to the breastbone in the front. The last 2 pairs of ribs are not attached to the breastbone. They are known as floating ribs. The rib cage protects the delicate organ like the lungs, heart and the kidneys. As you can see in the picture that the 10 pairs of thin curved bones are present there, and the last 2 pairs are not attached to the breastbone, which are known as floating ribs. Next comes the backbone. The skull is attached to the spine or backbone called the vertebrae. The 33 bones of the vertebrae form the vertebral column. A spinal cord passes through this column. The spinal cord is a bundle of nerves. The vertebrae protect the delicate spinal cord. And the last part of the skeleton are the limbs. We have 2 pairs of limbs. Upper limbs, which are known as the forelimbs. Lower limbs, which are known as the hind limbs. So let's see the forelimbs. Forelimbs are our arms. The arm is made of 2 parts, the upper arm and the lower arm. They are joined together at elbows. The upper arm has 1 long bone which is known as humerus. The lower arm has 2 bones which are known as radius and ulna. The upper arm is joined to the spine by the shoulder girdle. It is made up of 2 bones called the shoulder blade and the collar bone. Next comes the hind limbs. The hind limbs are our legs. It is also made up of 2 parts, the upper leg and the lower leg. They are joined together at the knees. The upper leg is the thigh. It has the longest bone in our body which is known as the femur, and the lower leg has 2 bones which are known as tibia and fibula. The lower part of the spine is joined to the femur by the hip girdle. The feet have many small bones. So children, let us see the whole picture of the skeleton. This is our skull. This is our rib cage. This one backbone. 33 vertebrae are there. Next, see the forelimbs, our hands, hind limbs, legs. As you have read, the forelimbs are our arms and they are made up of 2 parts, the upper arm and the lower arm. The upper arm has 1 long bone which is called the humerus, and this one the lower arm. It has 2 bones. See, 1, 2 bones. And next the hind limbs. The hind limbs are our legs. It is also made up of 2 parts, the upper leg and the lower leg. They are joined together at the knees, and the upper leg is the thigh which is having the longest bone known as the femur, and the lower leg has two bones, first and second. these two. So children, the explanation part of the parts of the skeleton is over. Your assignment is to read the lesson nicely. Thank you.